Send in the clones. As you can see, these three mics all look really similar. The one that looks slightly different is the Stagg because it's got a silver top. Actually the Shure has got a slightly silver top and the Behringer has got a black top. But they do look ever so similar. When you compare the size, the Stagg is about the same size as the Behringer. So those two are the same. And if you compare the Behringer to the Shure, it's just a fraction shorter. But for all intents and purposes, they look like the same mic really, don't they? Which is why I sang Send in the Clones. Bad joke, sorry. One thing that really separates them though is that these two are ever so cheap and this one's 90 odd pounds. These two, you can get them roughly around £20, somewhere around there, or £17. They're really extremely cheap microphones. I can get roughly 6 of these for one of these. So now we're going to see how they compare. The Shure SM57 retails around 90 odd pounds, so it's got the same capsule as the SM58, but it's in a different body, which makes the sound slightly different. In actual fact, this one is more trebly than the 58, so if you want something with a sharper edge, the 57 can do it. So this is the sound that you get from the SM57. This is the sound that you get from the Behringer SL75C, and this is the one I was joking about where Behringer actually took offence to someone calling it a clone, but it's quite funny that it's called a 75, not a 57, because the numbers are switched around as well, which is quite funny. But this is basically the sound of the Behringer. This is the sound that you get from the Stagg SDM70, another cheapo. Really does look so like an SM57, but there you go. Just it may sound slightly different, I think, but it's a lot cheaper. So that's the basic sound that you get from this microphone. This is the sound of the Shure SM57. This is the sound of the Behringer. This is the Stagg SDM70. This is the sound of the Shure SM57. This is the sound of the Behringer. This is the Stagg SDM70. And this is the sound of the Shure SM57. This is what the Behringer sounds like. This is the Stagg SDM70. This is the sound of the SM57 from the front. This is the Behringer from the front. This is the Stagg from the front. This is the sound of the SM57 from the side. This is the Behringer from the side. This is the Stagg from the side. This is the sound of the SM57 from the rear. This is the Behringer from the rear. This is the Stagg from the rear. And we're back to the front on the SM57. And I'm back to the front on the Behringer again. And I'm back to the front on the Stagg. So there you have it. It just shows how well some of these cheaper mics can do, doesn't it? Hope to see you next week. Cheers for now.